Hey guys, it's me, David. It's 4/29/2021. Still feeling sick. Got a cough in my chest and runny nose and all this stuff. So I thought I would do a little video because I want to talk about something that um, I have friends in the community and stuff. They try to scare you a little bit. You question who they are. It's just something you do. You kind of question what their motive is and all this stuff. But they were talking about medications. People talk about medications all over the community. And they want to scare us. They want to put the fear in us. They're saying if you take psych medications, you're gonna end up disabled. You're gonna end up more disabled. They're bad for you. They're gonna kill you and all this stuff. That stuff is really not true, you guys. It's not true. I'm on psych meds because of the program. Low doses, the lowest dose possible I take. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't give me woman boobs. It doesn't, there's no side effects. I don't have twitching, muscle twitchings and stuff like that. I don't have any side effects. I'm on the lowest dose possible. So if you're in this program and you end up locked up and they have you take medications, if you have to do it to get out, is what I'm saying. You have the right to refuse anything. If you get locked up, you ask for your rights. And you have a right to an advocate and everything for you. Okay, now they're not gonna tell you that. They might not even give you your rights until you get out. Okay, they played that trick with me. They didn't give me my rights until I got out. The last day I got out, and it said I had a right to refuse everything. Group meetings, medications. I had every right to not participate into anything when I was locked up. But sometimes you have to take the medication to get out, is what I'm saying. You have to take it to get out of that situation and be free. So, if you have to take medications in order to get out, make sure it's the lowest dose possible. Make sure it's the lowest dose possible. But we have other TIs out there scaring people. If you take these medications, they're going to disable you. You're going to be more disabled. You're going to be all effed up in the head and all this stuff. That's not true. That's not true. I've worked in the healthcare field with mental health people, residents. They were all on psych meds and all this stuff. They would go get their blood checked every 6 months, make sure their blood was okay and all this stuff. They were on all kinds of, Risperdal, lithium, all kinds of psych medications, and all this stuff. It does help these people if you really have mental illness. It helps these people. It's not a death wish, So, but for us that don't need the medication, if you have to take it in order to get out, that might be in some cases. Make sure it's the lowest dose possible, and don't listen to all these other TIs. I'm on the lowest dose possible. They don't want me on medications. They don't want me on medications. They don't want me on medications. I think it interferes with what they're doing. Mine's all mine. Mind control, it's all mine. Behavioral control and all this stuff. They don't want me on medications. I think it interferes with what they're doing. Now the torturers are trying to send you to the hospital every day, and they want you on medications. They wish they could lock you up and all this stuff. Now there's a different group over here. It's like, no, we don't want him on medications. He's not going to be locked up, you know. And they kind of had the final word. But the torturers don't know what's going on. You know, according to people out there that know about this program, these guys aren't told anything about us. And they're not. These guys didn't even know what MK Ultra was. They didn't know anything about any program. They just knew they were torturing a guy and they were going by a manual. That's what they were doing. They didn't know what the hell they were doing, you know. They were just having fun torturing the hell out of me, you know. They thought the government was going to sit here and pay millions of dollars to have them torture me, you know. And they put a stop to that. You know, they cut the money off. So anyway, going back to medications and all this stuff, some people, I question who they are. They say, oh, the medication's going to mess you up. You know, pretty much say you're going to be brain dead and all this stuff. It's going to, you know, do all this stuff. That's not true. This medication does help people who legitimately need it to function in society. You know, so they can have a job. You know, they can have a job a couple hours a day. They can go to work a couple hours a day. You know, Depakote, it's for seizures. They also use that for behaviorals. You know, so a lot of these people are on Depakote, Risperdal, Ativan. If they're really out of control, they're on Ativan to calm them down. If they're having a behavioral, I worked with traumatic brain injury people. And they couldn't control their outbursts and all this stuff. So a lot of times we would use Ativan to calm them down, you know. But so there's all kinds of medications. These medications help these people that need it. You know, it doesn't do anything for us. If you are on these medications, they should be doing blood work every 3 to 6 months to make sure you're not getting side effects, you know, strong side effects from the medications. You know, make sure your blood's okay and all this stuff. I forgot what I was gonna. I forgot what it's called. Depending on what kind of medication you're on, because some of them do have side effects. You know, they can affect the liver and the kidneys and all that type of stuff. But if you're on a real low dose, I get my blood checked every so often. I just got my blood checked now, or about a month ago, and everything was okay. But we have people out there scaring. I don't think they're real TIs. They're scaring TIs. You know. Sometimes when you're locked up, you don't have a choice. I mean, you can refuse anything you want. You can refuse anything you want. That is your right. Here in Minnesota, anyway. In Minnesota, you have a right to refuse any medication. You know, you have a right to refuse that. They cannot force you to take medication. You do not have to participate in group. If they have these groups talking about how they do this and how they do that and all this stuff, you don't have to participate in that. That is your right. You have rights. But they're not going to tell you that. Okay, they're going to trick you. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to hand you a sheet of your rights and says you have a right to refuse medications. You have a right to refuse any group activities. You have a right to refuse any care, basically. You know. And you have a right to an advocate to be there with you. But they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. So I'll tell you, if I get locked up again, the first thing I'm going to say is I want a sheet of my rights because I know I have a right to an advocate, and I have a right to refuse whatever care I want to refuse. See, now, it comes a little, it's a little tricky, it's a little gray. Do you want to get out of there? So do you go along with it and take your medications to get out of there? Some people say they just let you go, and they I don't know if they're real or not. If you're a real TI, in a pretty big TI, they want to discredit you, and all this stuff. So, some people say, well, you're not crazy, we'll let you go, we'll see ya. Every TI that I know, and I can name 5 of them, who have had a mental health evaluation or have been locked up in the psych ward, and they don't let them go like that. They're not like, oh yeah, go ahead, you can go away. They're like, well, you better take your medications, otherwise you're going to end up back here quite a bit, and all that stuff. So it's a very tricky situation. You have to, it's all about your situation on what to do and stuff. But you do have rights and stuff. But they will railroad you to take medications and all this stuff. If you have to, take the lowest dose possible. That's all I can say. Take the lowest dose possible. Get out of there, and then do whatever you want when you get out of there. But the main thing is to get out of there, so you're not locked up. I was locked up for 5 weeks. They made me have an outburst in the ER, and I threatened a male nurse. They made me look combative, and that was enough for them to commit me. And they committed me for 6 months, and they sent me to a treatment center for 3 months. They got me, but they hit me with rage. I couldn't control it. I tried to control it the best I could, but when they hit you with rage, sometimes you can't control it, and they railroad you and get in more trouble and all this stuff. So I'm gonna kind of stop there, but but don't let these other TIs scare you. If you have to take medications, make sure it's the lowest dose. And get out of, if you're locked up, get out of there. The main thing is to get out of there and have your freedom. And then, don't take your, you can do whatever you want with your medications, but the thing is to get out of there. Don't be locked up. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off. So you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.